Hello and good evening. We should be live. It is Sunday, March 26th, 7:32 p.m. And as per the weather up there, it is 8 degrees Celsius outside. So we've had a pretty nice day and absolutely beautiful blue skies. No clouds out there. I went out and recorded a video today. And in the chat, I see Shivbalin, Laura, MJM, Linda Jane Jackson, Clayton Crawford, Everett C, Gertej, Wesley, Sheena Roberts, Yogi is here. Happy belated birthday once more, Yogi, Pine Soul, George, Vivian Johnson, Harjot, Sheena. I'm pretty sure I'm just rereading names. Marge. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. It is about to finish in what, three and a half hours. We're going to be through the weekend and into a new week. But for me, it doesn't really matter because I don't do a daily 9 to 5 anymore. Gordon Freeman's here. Upstate New York Bob is here. Lisa's here. TTC Realm is here. Just did my first bike ride this season. Beautiful weather today. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous weather. I went out and I actually did an e-scooter ride earlier today. I went down to the waterfront and they went up a little trail that I'd never been on before. So I think that was kind of cool. And then I went on a very, very familiar route for the second half of the ride. So feel free to tune out for that part. You've probably seen it 100 times before. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous weather. So the plan for the stream tonight is just to kind of hang out and take it easy. We're going to be a little low key tonight. Last night I went to the Rosencrown Bar in Midtown and just had pitcher after pitcher. Who orders pitchers anymore? But we were getting Detour, which is a pretty good beer, in pitchers, and we were taking turns. So after several rounds of that, pretty fun scene. Gotta go to Rosencrown more often. I came home and popped 30 milligrams worth of edibles, and man, I had a hangover and a half this morning. And that's one of the reasons why I took the scooter out. But I'm going to hopefully get out and make some more videos tomorrow. But that's what I've been up to. But just because I got a little messed up last night. Last Sunday we did an edible. So this Sunday we're going to do a drink. We're going to do 4-track IPA. This is the same one that exploded all over what I was wearing on Friday night's live stream on the Strides channel, but I've already pre-opened it, and yes, it did try to fizz and explode. I just think these things get shaken up at some point. Chris Mills says all that and 30 milligram, you're a trooper. I don't know. I was in pretty rough shape. I woke up dizzy. I couldn't even walk to the bathroom, and this was after a night of sleep without anyways, yeah, I am not a good example. Kids, don't be like me at all, at least not till you're this age. But cheers, let's have a drink. Brad Palmer, if you're out there, cheers to you. Happy Sunday. So I don't have too much in the way of stuff planned for tonight, but maybe it's been a while since we've gone through the comments. Marge says the owner of the Rosencrown was on CTV last night complaining about the alcohol tax. They do a pretty good business, and that's an awesome building. You have Absolute Comedy in the basement. You have Rosencrown on the main floor, an excellent pub, and then you have an incredible Thai restaurant on the top 2 floors in Pi. So great establishment. Lisa had 5 tonight, and you're feeling good. Yeah, I think my tolerance really fluctuates. It also depends on what you're taking, but yeah, 30 is a lot for me. But if you're a regular, 30 is not a lot. It's all relative. But anyways, opened slowly. Lesson learned. What do you think about opening weed bars that you can smoke in? I don't like the idea of cigarette bars. I think we're so far past that as a society. I don't know if maybe if it was hookah style, if there was a way where the secondhand smoke wasn't affecting others, I'd be all for it. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's worth exploring. I'd be all about a place that sells brownies and edibles. When I went to a cafe in Amsterdam and I was smoking some pretty strong stuff, my lungs were burning, not just from what I was smoking, but just from the air. It was an absolutely awful experience, and it couldn't have been healthy. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. We'll let other people decide that. Chris Mill says, as long as it's ventilated. Yeah, and we are up to 6,810 subscribers on the Johnny Stumbles channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. Head on over to the Strides channel and do that as well. And I'm going to put the birthday mod on the spot. Yogi, do you have any new videos lately? I just looked this up. Frosty and Misty Morning Sun, not a happy looking Pips. Very cold, wet, and cloudy sunset near the rail line. Your last video was 2 weeks ago, Yogi. Slacking off. Bash Brannigan says weed bar, but only edibles. I'd be down for that. Or drinks. I don't know. I don't know. Vivian Johnson says ventilated into the air of those not wanting it. Connie is here. This is Yogi's Pips. Not a happy looking Pips. Not a happy looking indeed. Bash Brannigan says, is Yogi a photographer? Yogi, are you a photographer? Anyone's a photographer if they've taken a picture, right? It's kind of like the saying, any book is a children's book if the kid can read. Who's just says, have you tried hookah? I did. I had a hookah in Korea. Kind of a neat experience. Yeah, and who else? Brad Palmer, you're not here, but I loaded your channel up too because you posted this funny short of like a cat drinking water in a very unusual way in a sink. I just thought that was pretty funny. Maybe you're up north ice fishing somewhere right now, Brad, but cool short. Don't forget to check out the channels of our viewers and some of our mods. Yogi says every morning has been too cloudy or raining for a sunrise, but yes, you take photos, but not professionally. Shivlin says, let's see some shorts by Take the Bike. Is that another channel? Take the Bike? I like to bike in Toronto. Construction Split. Yeah, Adelaide is just going to be a shit show. Don't be a sidewalk cyclist. I can get with this. Ooh, I get 100%. Oh, there's no comments on this one. They weren't a fan of that. Looks like they weren't a fan. I don't normally lane split to the middle like that. That's not a move I would have done, nor would I have just cut in front of a car like that, but Upstate New York Bob says those videos make me nervous. Keep waiting for a door to open. Novell Cost says I wouldn't want to drink in a way that left my fur soaked. Not very efficient. Maybe. What is going on with the city of Toronto this weekend? This is the Toronto subreddit. And the reason I put low-key in the title is if you can't tell, I'm feeling a little more subdued tonight. I might still get into my edibles. I think tomorrow, what kind of video do you guys want to see tomorrow? Do you want to see... I've got 4, but I've only got 2 edited. Oh, man, start a poll. All right, I have put up a poll, and I had a few ideas to do an April Fool's video. I guess I shouldn't even be talking about it at this point, because on April 1st, you're going to watch a video and you're going to instantly know that it's bullshit. But I just haven't got around to fleshing out the plan. But yeah, I have a walking video and a transit video. I was thinking of getting rid of the transit video, It's short. It's only like 17 minutes. I don't know. We'll see how the poll goes. I have a feeling the transit video is going to do a lot better view-wise than the walking video. So we'll see. William says, how are you feeling? Feeling pretty low-key, low energy, pretty subdued. Bash Brannigan says, when I watch videos of New York City, I don't think you see much biking or scooters. There's a lot. There's Terry, this guy does a lot of New York City cycling videos, and you will see San Francisco. He also does these hotline videos. His hotline videos are nuts. A Brooklyn fixed gear ride on the Insta 360. I'm not a huge fan of this camera angle. You can only see like his arms are just like most of the screen. But when you watch his hotline videos, they're absolutely nuts. He hasn't done a hotline in a while, has he? If we go popular, it's got to be. Yeah, these videos are insane. But you see a fair bit of other cyclists and scooter riders and that sort of thing in New York City. Highly ill-advised move here. Don't do this at home. Look at this. I would not squeeze through there like that. Or just cut in front of the bus like that. But these guys just ride through New York City without stopping. No braking. Barely. Lane splitting. Traffic light. Look at this. That's nuts. That ambulance was like signaling left and moving left. And like, this is a ridiculous amount of skill. Notice how he's pushing off the cab there. And what's even more amazing is there's a guy behind him like filming this. So there's like two riders with this skill level and they're keeping up with one another. And he's got more of them too. I don't know. I've watched all of his. This guy Crusha. This guy is the craziest guy. Michael K says grounds for a careless driving ticket. How are the cops ever gonna like catch up to them? Whoops, 1440 is a little high. But this guy is easily the like most insane / talented street rider. Crusha. Laura says that's wild. Bash Brannigan says it's not skill, it's stupidity. Yeah, I mean they're not even wearing helmets. But also in New York, they do have.
Yep.
They do have one big advantage. Most of the cross streets are one-way streets. So when they're like running a red light, they really only have to look.
Yep. Look at
that. Is he auditioning for the next Fast and Furious bike movie? In fairness to him there, he did have the light and those crossing pedestrians. But just imagine riding like this. Lisa says, is this a game? So he clearly in the wrong on that one. We got another red light, but because it's a one-way street he's going over, he only really has to be concerned about traffic in one direction, right? Another red light, pedestrian crossing, split them. Naval Koss says, my response to this, no. Connie says, oh my God. You have a red light! And he's like,
Yep.
look at that. He'll eventually push his luck and end up a quadriplegic. Well, I don't know. You just can't leave yourself at the mercy of people behind the wheel. It's not going to end up well for you, right? I don't trust people to only come from one direction on one-way streets, is Michael K. There's always like cyclists that whip in the other direction too, right? whistling at pedestrians who have the right of way. So annoying. Chris, yeah, I would tell someone to just fuck right off if they did that to me while I was crossing. You ride so no one needs to see you. That's straight up rude. People who do this make me angry, says Julie. Vivian Johnson says, great video. It's, yeah, I don't know. Like, I've watched them all just because, like, and I have such mixed reactions because I find them, like, stupidly entertaining. And these guys have a ridiculous amount of skill. But at the same time, if I came across them as a pedestrian, I would be telling them where to stick it. So a guy who's easier to watch is this guy. This guy has the worst luck in the world. He got like T-boned and he had to get like a whole bunch. He had to get surgery. His bike got ruined. He took like a long time off and then returning soon. And then as soon as he got back, he breaks his arm on the very first video. Where's the
I've seen cyclists running red lights at empty
so this is after his like big recovery.
No one upsets you. I suggest pressing the back.
Where does that part happen where he breaks his arm? I think it's here. Watch this.
Doesn't blindly cross.
It's coming up.
Good job blocking the bike lane. Nobody in there. The sidewalk sure is packed. Wrong way, idiot.
I gotta like the wrong way, idiot.
The bike lane's the perfect place to walk. Bang!
I think it's coming up.
Looks at me and proceeds to walk. And they wonder why they get hit.
I'm just waiting for that one scene. Oh, here it is.
Yep, and that's what assholes think I do.
12:38. It's definitely. This is it.
Wrong way, pieces of shits. Traffic goes that way, dick bag.
Dick bag.
Wrong way, you dumb fuck. This is why you fucking go with traffic. You piece of shit.
I'm trying to dock it.
No, you go with traffic. You lazy fuck.
You okay?
No, my arm hurts because of you.
He broke his arm, actually.
This is why you go with traffic. But if I'm wrong, I punch him, right? Yeah, I think I might have dislocated it. But if I'm wrong, this is why you piece of shit. Why you dumb fuck?
And that is why you don't go the wrong way on the sidewalk or on the street or ride on the sidewalk. Or yeah, I don't know. Poor guy. Like he got absolutely smoked in 158, which was like a long time ago. I'll just show this one and then we'll move on. But where? This is what put him out for a while. Red light. He has a green light.
Yep. No, no! Fuck.
Yeah, he got messed up really bad from that. Anyways, ride safe. And even if you ride safe and even if you have your head in a swivel and you do everything right, that can still happen to you. So sorry he had to go through with that, but yeah, that's pretty. And I had, if in my latest video, something like that kind of happened, right? I don't know why we're doing this. We'll get off this topic in a second. But $6.54.
And other
This is my video today.
In this area. Hello?
Look where the stop sign is. Here is the stop sign. I was clearly crossing, and yes, I saw this driver. I saw them approaching a stop sign, and I saw them slowing down. So I kept my eye on them, and I was sure not to like step right in front of them. But I was kind of shocked that she just barreled right through the stop sign. Like that was like... And what's happening here, I'm looking at the driver going like with my hands up, like, WTF are you doing? And the driver decided to do that back to me. The driver was like, what are you doing? So unfortunately, we don't get a clear look, but yeah, she was just, I don't know. Lisa says, I beefed with a dude on TikTok over this. Beefed? Who am I? So yeah, we got to be so careful. And I love how people in the comments assume I'm not looking. They assume that I'm like walking down the street really slowly, which I don't. If you watch my videos, you know I do not walk slow. I only walk slow when I see something like this and I'm being cautious. But they think that I'm like holding my phone, looking at my phone, not paying attention, walking really slowly, and I'm trying to like instigate this. No, that is not the case at all. This kind of shit just happens that often. The difference between me and everyone else is I tend to have a camera in my hand, right? Anyone who walks the streets of Toronto regularly will tell you this type of shit will happen to you like super frequently. The only difference is I just usually have a camera, so I capture it. So no, I'm not fishing for these moments. Like anyone who walks in the city will tell you that is way too common. Lisa says, I go out looking for trouble. Yeah. Gordon says that car would have needed repairs if I was crossing. Yeah, that crosses my mind, but it's also like you've got a camera in your hand. You're documenting yourself. I begrudgingly take the high road, but if I wasn't filming, there would have been a slap on that car for sure. Yeah. Devel Costa, some people will always defend someone in a car because apparently a car gives perpetual right away. I love that. I love the comments like, why didn't you speed up? You knew he was coming. You saw the car. Why didn't you get out of the way? That's not how it works, buddy. Julie says, exactly every single time I go, I nearly get hit at least once or twice. Yeah, we have two problems with this. We have terrible infrastructure. We don't have traffic calming measures that are adequate, right? You can make streets in a way that drivers can't just roll up to a stop sign and make a really sharp, fast turn. You can design streets in a way so that isn't what happens. See Amsterdam if you want a city like that. And the other thing is, like, there's no traffic enforcement. These people just get away with it, knowing there's like a 1 in 10,000 chance that they're going to get a ticket for this. Like, even if a cop saw them, chances are they're not going to do anything. So when you give people an inch, eventually they take miles and miles. And that's what's happened with just the state of driving in the city. It is so bad. Lisa says traffic calming is piss poor in the city. Yeah, anyways, let's get off this topic. Let's talk about fun, happy things, fun, happy thoughts. What is Take the Bike? He's only got 31 subscribers. I like to bike in Toronto. I like the branding. The TTB, new videos every commute. We've got YouTube shorts, regular videos, big sidewalk cyclist, incident free ride. Little overdoing the arrows. That was like a trend in YouTube thumbnails where if you had an arrow in your thumbnail, people like clicked on it way more. But anyways, cool to see. But I like the TTB. I like the font. I like the circle. He's doing this in the corner, kind of like my circular JS up in the corner. It's good. When you see the thumbnail, you instantly know it's them. I'll subscribe with the fake Johnny Strides. Novel Costas reminds me of the Amazon Arrow. 57% of you said walking video. 19% of you said transit, transferring lines. And 24% of you want me to make a popping balloons video. You want me to go pop balloons? I don't know about that. But what is going on with the city of Toronto? I have not been paying attention. Toronto Transit was just ranked the third most expensive in the world, and fares are about to go up, and service frequency is about to decline. Toronto, we pay $156 for a monthly pass. The real problem is this city is about 7 or 8% too light on our property taxes. And all the NIMBY homeowners will never vote for a mayor who's running on raising property taxes. One of the reasons why it's such a big deal, why we can't fund our own transit system, well, A, the province doesn't give nearly as much as they should, but also the city doesn't raise the money because we don't charge as much property tax as we should, which is ridiculous. We need a mayor to grow a pair and do that. And then things like increasing the police budget even are not a big deal because we would easily have the money to cover so much stuff. But no, we got to protect the property owners. So that's the real reason why our transit fares are going up. Chris Mills says taxes and TO are cheap. Yeah, they're ridiculously cheap. And people are fighting tooth and nail to keep them cheap. And I guess, in a way, that'll be John Tory's legacy, right? Nouvelle Costs always thought the fares were quite high, but people seem willing to pay it because it's still the better way. It is, but not for much longer at this rate. If Billy Bitcoins didn't make it, what chance do any of us have? The store, Billy Bitcoins. Where was that? Blew the budget on signage? Probably still less sketchy than when I used to buy Bitcoins from a guy in Tim Hortons I met on the internet. Local Bitcoins. I remember those days. Kingston Road's finest. Well, this is cool. I haven't clicked it yet. This used to be the most urban horse race track in North America. This was a harness track. And notice how underdeveloped the whole area is around there. And they built this big housing complex in there and added a park. I'm kind of more interested in seeing how the skyline has grown. Pretty awesome. Then I know City of Mississauga rejects application for 2 residential towers because proposed buildings are too tall. There are only 40 and 42 stories in Port Credit near the GO station. The GO station that is about to see increased service and electrified trains. I would say that's entirely appropriate without knowing anything more. Toronto set to decide on fate of High Park. Will cars be kicked to the curb? Yes, please do. Presto gates are getting installed on the Eglinton line. Well, that's about time. How about opening up the Eglinton line? TTC resuming ticketing for fare evasion on March 20th. Why haven't they been doing this the whole time? I see fare inspectors out there. They should have been. Matt Bros loves the houses that are now at the Woodbine track. If you lived in TO, you would buy one of those if you won the lottery. Sad, eh? Not if I got a raise, if I got a slightly better job, I would buy a house. That's not an option for anybody. It's if I won the lottery, and even then, you still might not be able to. Male dead following stabbing at Kiel subway station. Police searching for one suspect. I don't know much about this, but I know he was 16 years old. So our wacky violence problem on the TTC continues. And that's Kiel station. Remember that girl lost her life a station away at High Park Station? Nouvelle Cost says it's weird when parks allow cars. Centennial Park in Moncton is like that. Weird indeed. Aunt Barb says unprovoked, just sitting there. Yeah, it's minimalist TTC map. Oh, it's just the lights. Someone took it out. I don't think that's worth taking a picture of. Service changes on almost 40 TTC routes set to take effect Sunday. They're lying. A few other routes not listed have been drastically reduced in the last couple of weeks, as it now takes an hour longer to travel. Why would anyone reduce services within the routes that most of the working class in the city use? Yeah, they targeted Scarborough with their route cuts, which, because of number one, they're going to extend the travel time limit on Presto cards. For some workers who travel across the city, it will cost them double the fare to travel one way. That's a good point. Like at Old Mill Station, if you get out to transfer to the bus, you leave the fare paid zone and then you have to tap back onto the bus. So if your 2-hour window is up and you are still on the TTC having to change modes of transit with outside of a fare paid zone, you're going to have to pay an extra fare. So how is that fair? Yeah, all the money went to cops to stand around for 2 weeks. Fuck you, Tory. Their little Band-Aid PR stunt, which wasn't even like a permanent thing. All 3 buses I use in line 2 will also be cut. Thank you, John Tory, for that fuck off just before you pieced out. All to keep rich people's taxes low. That's what I was talking about. All these cuts are purely because we have woefully inadequate property tax amounts in the city. Fuck those on council with no goddamn balls to stand up to Tory and the TTC board. Why not have closer transit times during evening rush hour too, and not just the morning? Because they care that you get to work, not that you get home. All this BS just to save $75 million out of the TTC over a $2 billion budget? Absolutely effing moronic. This will probably cost us more than that in lost economic activity than it saves. Yeah, anyways, it's maddening. And when you reduce transit service, it's like a downward spiral, right? Less people take it. So your source of income goes down because you've reduced service and you've gotten people now seeking other means of transit. And then what do? You just further keep cutting service. Anyways. And yeah, they have targeted lower class areas to make the cuts, where the voices will be softer when it comes time to making complaints. Can't dare cut that Rosedale bus, though, right? They need their employees to get to work. Someone had the right idea. Danger due to politicians. That's a funny one. That's a funny sign. Apparently, the TTC has 24-hour service in cottage country. Oh, someone just put up a TTC post. Chloe Brown confirms she will run for mayor in by-election. At one point, a bunch of people came together and played around with an idea of what Toronto should be. That time in history has come back around again. I do think we need someone a little more non-traditional this time. I'm still a Gill guy, but I like a lot of what Chloe has said. Canada, I am so sorry. Anthem singer forgets "O Canada" lyrics before a Leafs game. You're forgiven. Olivia Chow, Mark Saunders lead in poll of potential Toronto mayoral candidates. Do we really need former police chief Mark Saunders as our mayor? What's going to happen is all these people are going to throw their hats into the ring. Then there's going to be like one conservative backed opponent who has like the lion's share of the funding, who isn't going to dare touch those property taxes. And that person's going to win, and the city's going to be in like a downward spiral again. That's what's going to happen. Roof blown off Mercedes-Benz dealership in Regent Park. What? Oh, I guess parts of the roof. They'll get over it as long as no one gets hurt. Toronto resident says Canada Post carrier forged signature on delivery. Speaking of which, I can no longer get mail in my apartment building. There's like the post office, like the room, the lock is broken. So I have to go all the way to like Leaside to pick up my mail. So I've just decided to not get my mail. I don't care. Jumbo TV can't believe Saunders is leading. Ridiculous. Yeah. Lisa says Reddit is boring lately. Yeah, it is a little boring. Toronto bar that was the last of its kind has permanently closed. Oh, I think this was that Baseline bar at Ossington, right? Bloor and Ossington. A beloved place known as a source for up-and-coming DJs, Baseline Music Bar, has closed. Yeah, I think the landlord just raised... I read like an Instagram post about this. I think their landlord just raised the rent a bit. Jeremy Joseph is here. Hello. Randini was banned from Reddit posting death videos. Well, based on that description, I don't blame them. Here's when Vancouver's award-winning steakhouse is opening in Toronto. You need to make more than $150K to buy an average-priced Toronto home. So, like, less than 10% of the population could even think about buying a home. That's good. You can now get a dill pickle chocolate bar made in Ontario, and people want to try it. Hell yeah, I want to try it. That sounds awesome. Here's when Toronto can expect to see cherry blossoms. I think May. We don't need to open that. Anyways. It's about to get much easier to travel between Brampton and Toronto. Finally, Brampton is getting like regular GO train service. 2 white men. Is it really necessary to point out that element when we can clearly see the picture? Hit and shouted slurs at an Asian woman in downtown Toronto. Well, I'm not going to play that, but I don't think there's any way they're not pieces of shit based on what I read. Anyways, trying to be positive today. Toronto airport traffic saw a huge rebound in 2022, and the numbers are staggering. No shit. Toronto Transit line set to open this week was just delayed. I think that was the Go Barrie line, right? The dual track service going up that way. Marge says, apparently Mark Saunders is in Dougie's back pocket. They are that close. I wouldn't be surprised. That's what's going to happen. They're totally going to get behind one person and fund the hell out of them. And that person is who all the conservative voters are going to align with, and they're going to win. And the city is just going to go backwards. That's what's going to happen. We won't get one of them good conservatives. Not even a Patrick Brown. No, we'll get a Mark Saunders. Yay. Anyways, I'm not very positive. Sportsnet should have kept Tabler for Jays. I liked Pat Tabler. He was a little ho-hum, but he was good, right? He was better for the Blue Jays than Leo Routins is to the Raptors. I'll give him that. Bash Brannigan says, are only left wingers allowed in the shut? No, anyone and everyone is welcome here. Of course, but we're all allowed our opinions. Gordon says there's no such thing as a good... I don't know. I won't touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, he says, as soon as Johnny said something about the airport, that's where I am. That's where I will be in a week and a half. Chris Mills says Tabby is a good broadcaster. Yeah, I don't think Tabby is bad. I actually kind of liked him. I remember why Pat Tabler played for you remember when? He was the backup to Ernie Witt, right? Everett C. Love the show, Johnny. Thank you, Everett C. for the $2. Cheers.
Love the show, Johnny.
Love the support. I was watching on a very interesting channel name this guy has. Jeff, but he went live. He went live from a bar in Pickering, and I was hanging out on that chat. Kind of a really fun bunch of people that hang out and watch him live stream. Pretty down to earth, very nice dude as well. Don't judge a book by the cover with that channel name. Lisa says you don't need to keep dry. I just think it's funny, that's all. But yeah, nice guy, nice channel. Everett C, I missed a 0. Now I owe you 2. Thank you, Everett C, again. Cheers. If I had kids, you have been putting them through college. Thank you, Everett C. Upstate New York says, very nice. Is there any bar you like outside of Toronto, says Bash Brannigan? Yeah, I don't know if they're still there, but there was a bar in Port Credit in Mississauga called The Harp that I quite liked. I'm sure there's tons of bars that I would like. I don't know, Lisa. It's just two random numbers. Jellybean says Pickering. Hey, that's the land of Dylan
I
Reynolds,
missed a
right?
zero.
But thank you again, Everett C. And it is 8:12 Ken stream tonight, right? Shivlin says, and considering I believe in third time's the charm, I believe we will finally have a progressive mayor at the end of this election. I just hope whoever we end up with knows what they're doing and actually acts in the best interest of the people and the city, because we just had a guy who was completely status quo and frankly couldn't have been any more out of touch with what the people in the city just had to experience on a day-to-day basis. It would be nice to just have a mayor who's in touch and has their finger on the pulse. I don't know. Upstate New York Bob says, Johnny Stumbles, any plans to visit Montreal again soon? Honestly, no. I don't have any plans. I just went there. And I went there a few years prior as well. Maybe next year, but Montreal is out for the rest of the year. Maybe Quebec City. I want to go to Quebec City. I've got Quebec City in my sights. I've got hopefully a West Coast city, one of Vancouver or Calgary. I think Calgary looks a lot more appealing than Edmonton. And apparently Edmonton has had like such a nasty crime wave. They have like provincial police sheriffs now like doing foot patrol in Edmonton's worst neighborhoods, which is kind of scary. They're really in deep with bad crime. But yeah, maybe like a Calgary Banff combo would be kind of cool. Sanjay in Kingston is here. Hi, Johnny and everyone. Hello, Sanjay in Kingston. How much would that cost? Right now, without a deal, how much would that cost? What if I wanted to go to Vancouver tomorrow? What if I wanted to go there? Okay, we'll click a green one. And we'll come back on a green one. What if I wanted to go there for just a few days? A trip before my trip. Holy crap. Flair Airlines, $177 to go to Vancouver and back. That's nuts. That is bonkers. Michael says Calgary's main library is supposed to be architecturally interesting. Is it? Let's just Google Calgary's main library. It looks kind of like a building that was plunked onto like York University. Wow, $172 to fly to Vancouver. Round trip. Direct. On an airline that might go belly up anytime. That's pretty good. What about this one? What about... Lynx Air? Never even heard of Lynx Air. Where do they fly out of YYZ? Flair Airlines again. That's pretty cheap too. WestJet, $293. Flair to WestJet and Flair. WestJet. If you're buying a ticket like this, always try to keep it all in one ticket, because if you mix like WestJet and Flair, if this flight gets canceled, this flight is just going to say tough shit. We didn't cancel it, so you would only get like credit for half of your flight, and the other half you'd just be SOL. So yeah, don't buy mixed tickets like this. Just try to always buy it on one ticket, or at least with one airline. Jumbo TV says Porter has some cheap flights too. Yeah, Porter isn't showing up. Maybe they're just not flying on these dates. And I have $150 credit with Porter. But what if I did that? What are we looking at for like Vancouver hotels? Let's just pick a few random days here. What are we even looking at per night? Hampton Inn and Suites by Hilton, $109 a night, and it's downtown. That would be like $500 in Toronto. What? Century Plaza Hotel, 128. What am I missing? Guys, why is Vancouver so cheap? Hyatt Regency, 188. Blue Horizon, 167. Paradox Hotel, 197. The Rosedale on Robson Suite, 107. Like, these are like good locations too. Coast Coal, and I'm not even like, you can see it's all like downtown, right? Obviously you don't want to be in like East Hastings, but Paradox, 197, 168. Watch this. Same dates. What does Toronto have for hotel prices? No, we can't look at the outskirts. We got to look downtown. Oh, not nearly as bad as the Rex Hotel. I don't think I would stay at the Rex. The Hilton Toronto, 239. Woodbine Hotel in the Chelsea, 180. That's like a pretty solid location. Cambridge Suites, 174. Wow, this is way, way cheaper than it was. I remember last summer when like you could not get a hotel. Like a shit hotel would have been what the Shangri-La is. I bet if I make this July, let's just pick a few days in July and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Doubletree, 295. Pan Pacific, Best Western, that's not a good location. One King West, 294 a night. That's not terrible. Holiday Inn, Downtown Center, 248. Maybe I just picked a time where there's no events going on, but it looks like, because last summer our hotel prices were crazy town. Like a 3-star hotel was like $400 or $500 a night. So this is actually pretty good news. Shangri-La, 422. Like, I remember my friend paid like $800-900 a night when I reviewed that. So this is all right. You can stay in Toronto. It'll be fine. Wow. I've been telling people like our hotel prices are insane, but I guess it also helps when you book this far in advance. As these dates creep up and hotel vacancy fluctuates, these prices are going to be squeezed and they're going to go way up. So my advice, and look, book it with free cancellation and then just remember to cancel it. So even if you're speculating on a trip, it's always good to just get your hotels booked before you buy your plane ticket. Have free cancellation so you can amend the dates, you can modify it, or you can cancel it at no charge. Just don't do what I do and end up booking like 5,000 hotels. And now you're like all over the place going through your different booking services. Shivlin says, Johnny stumbled. CJ Hoyle did videos in Calgary. When was CJ Hoyle there? When was he there? Oh, 5 years ago.
All right, so it's the 15th of October 2017, and I'm standing here at Fort Calgary, which is in downtown Calgary, Oh,
look at this. We got the beats per minute. His kilometers on the left. You can tell
they're not all just concentrated in this downtown Cork.
He was not using his GoPro. You can see the like swaying left and right. This was definitely an older.
Calgary is quite a large city geographically as well.
Less stabilized camera, but I mean, for 5 years ago, it looks pretty good. Cool. Chris Mills says link to Strava. Maybe in the description. I don't know. In this video, I'm riding a Schwinn Network 2 hybrid style bike, which I rented from HI Calgary. I filmed this using a Contour Roam 2 camera mounted to the head tube of the bike. I recorded the audio. Okay. Little too much TMI there, CJ Hoyle. But yeah, when I get back, I'm going to reach out to him and we'll try to get together and hopefully do like a cycling collaboration again. Upstate New York Bob says, do you have a go-to website for best hotel rates? Honestly, use TripAdvisor, because TripAdvisor will like give you all of the sites. Like, just to give you an example, TripAdvisor. My last night in on my trip, I'm in Bangkok. So I will be there just for one night. So April, I think this is wrong, but whatever. So if you click on a hotel, where's one that I might actually consider? What's a hotel that would actually be like Sure Stay Bangkok? I know that one is good. I may have booked this one for my upcoming trip. But yeah, you come here and then you click view all 13 deals, and this will show you like Expedia is $97, booking.com is $97, Agoda is $83, and then you have like eTrip and Vio.com is $57, right? So you click the cheapest one and then see if there's any catch, right? So this one says $56 and you get free cancellation. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you found a great deal and saved $97. You want to make sure that the final price when you close it is what was advertised. Sometimes they'll tack on like fees. Like this one says, yeah, superior room, free cancellation after tax, $66. Expedia was $97. Booking.com, $97. So yeah, use an aggregator. I like TripAdvisor, and then what I'll do is I'll get sneaky. I'll open up another browser. Well, first of all, I'll turn on my VPN. I use a VPN called Windscribe here. I'll change my location to another country, usually a country in Southeast Asia. And then I'll go in to an incognito web browser. And then I'll go to that site, vio.com, and I'll search again. And sometimes you get a lower rate. It might just be a little bit lower, but it does use your location sometimes. This also works with flights using your VPN. So this $57 might be like $54. So if you're really trying to like squeeze everything you can, using a VPN and an incognito browser can do. But in this case, just by doing this, if I really wanted to stay at this hotel, we got it for like $30 less than the next highest booking just by going to vio.com, which I think is actually owned by one of the big booking agencies. And the reason why they can do that really, really cheap is they get allocated a certain amount of rooms. Each site does at a certain discount. So in this particular case, these sites here at the bottom that are the cheapest just have not sold all their really cheap rooms for this particular property. So they still have some left. I bet if you booked like 1 or 2 rooms at these prices, these would disappear. But yeah, like also look at this hotel. You could get that stunning rooftop, like infinity pool, skyline views with a bar, very nice room. That is $66 a night Canadian. Like, yeah, that is amazing. That is easily worth the 97 and that location is like A+. I'm telling you this because I may have already booked that same hotel earlier on my trip. Upstate New York Bob says, a tip for the hotel website.
Tip for
Thank
the
you.
Hotel website tip. Thank you, smiley face.
Thank you, Upstate New York Bob. Lisa says, see skyline views, yes. Pool, no. Skyline views, yes. Pool, yes. When you're in like 35, 40 degree weather, it is so nice to have a pool just to dip into and then climb out, sit in the chair, drink a beer, dry off, play on your phone, do whatever. But yeah, that is like literally, And the good thing is, because you're on TripAdvisor to begin with, you're not on a hotel booking website. So these are just reviews that regular ass people like posted. Like, look at this. Perfect hotel, Bangkok Oasis. Good hotel. Great. I always look for like a shit review, but this actually looks like one of the best value hotels I've ever seen. So I'm kind of excited to stay there. But another thing that's really important is go to traveler pictures. These aren't like room and suite. These pictures were provided by the hotel. So this is like a professional photographer going in to staged rooms, right? These are like the kind of pictures you see in booking websites. You want to click traveler. These are pictures that like regular people took of the hotel. So this is actually what the hotel looks like, not right. Like there's the room. You can see the folds on the bed sheets. You can see the luggage. You can see the rooftop looks every bit as nice as like their promo pictures. But yeah, definitely go through here and take a look at like the actual facilities. Like this hotel like checks out. A lot of times these rooms look like shit when you look in the travelers photos, whereas they look really good on like the booking website. So yeah, that's what I do as well. That's my process. And then another cool thing is I'll often search by like the map. If you click the map here, and I'll show you like hotels in the area and the price range. So let's say you wanted to stay like close by. This one's a little cheaper, Hotel Icon. I've actually stayed at the Hotel Icon. The Doubletree by Hilton, you could stay there for like, right? You can just search by that way too. If you like the location, but I don't know. Yeah, TripAdvisor, basically all you need. But when it comes time to getting the absolute best rate, try the VPN in a private browser if you have that. Also do that with flights. Try changing your location a few times and you might get something even cheaper. But yeah, that's what I do. I love this. Book now before it's too late. You always see this. It'll be like one room left. Second last room just sold. They always play those like mindfuck pressure games on you. But yeah, Vio.com. I think who owns Vio.com? There's a... Oh, so this is a Amsterdam-based travel agency. Oh, well. Transit in Montreal says, can you ask ChatGPT for hotel advice? I don't know. Do we, if we want to do the ChatGPT thing tonight? Oh, I don't know if we really want to do that. Hey, I just got a notification that I am live right now. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for telling me an hour after I actually started my stream. Why? Netflix, new arrival for me. The Night Agent is now on Netflix. Pretty sure I canceled Netflix. Why are you still telling me about your shit? Oh yeah, it's been a while. I think I got some juicy ones. So let me jump into comment land. How about we do some comments? Ski Long Walks. Estelle is here. Estelle says the Elvis movie is good. Ali BHG is here. Gary says, yes, Rose Park. Those stairs have been closed for many decades that I know of. Rose Park. Rose Park. What you talking about? Those steps were over here at where were they? Lassard Park. I'll heart the comment. These were leading up to Lassard Park. Lisa says, my park has been taken over by an encampment and is no longer passable. Which park is that? Which park is that? Sorry to hear. JR, $4.99. Thank you, JR. Thank you. Cheers, even though my beer is almost done. Robert Saberwall is here. Hello, Robert. Thank you again, JR. Steve says, nice video, Johnny. It's always great to see the amount of diversity in the GTA. I 100% agree with you, especially the northern end. I don't know about that part, but northern end is just as cool as everywhere else. By the way, I like you don't mention the race or gender or age of bad drivers. No, because that is 100% irrelevant. There are good drivers of every legal age as well as race and gender. So therefore, it's stupid to paint drivers in that light. Because in a place like TO, anyone has the potential to drive poorly. Yes, and most people should be driving adequately well. Thanks. I don't think it's worth mentioning those, as you're right. Anyone has the capacity to be a terrible driver. Cheers. Just as most people, I think, have the capacity to be a good driver. But thank you, Steve. Shivlin says, even Take the Bike YouTube channel has some shorts on a bike that is similar to mine. We already watched some of his. He's got some cool branding going on. Good channel. You've lost your mind if you think this is the driver's problem. I've lost my mind if I think this is the driver's problem. Let's see. Crossing the street. So the fault lies with the pedestrian for crossing when they have the right of way. Eye roll. I don't think it's me who's lost my mind. Pretty sure it's you, champ. And I'll give him a little wink. I don't know. I feel like being a bit of a smartass tonight. Johnny was first, not the car. Even if the pedestrian, like, you have this thing called a brake, you're supposed to hit it. Especially when the roads, everyone likes to make this excuse that cars don't like to stop when the roads are bad, so of course they're just gonna slow down. And like oh, so that gives drivers like an extra excuse for driving really shitty. Like, do you not think pedestrians are dealing with the same conditions? And do you not think it's going to take them longer? Do you not think the pedestrian might slip and fall? And if the driver hasn't completely stopped, they're just going to mow them down? Like, it's such a stupid, selfish perspective to take that, like, you know, if you can't stop your car on snow, that's because you don't have snow tires, which means you're an idiot who shouldn't be out there driving. I'm sorry. I have no words for these people. Anyways, Laura says, Johnny, you're going to get hurt or killed by one of these shitty drivers. I will never understand why drivers can't wait for pedestrians to cross the street. Stay safe. I believe you're in the chat, Laura. Thank you. I hope I don't get killed by one, but wouldn't be surprised. It's true. I guess I wouldn't be anything, right? How can I be surprised if I'm dead? You're just dead. Harjot says, thanks for the walk. Thank you, Harjot. Absolutely beautiful filming. Captured lovely blue skies and you nailed again. Thank you. Jenna A is here. Hello, Jenna A. Clayton Crawford. I need to sleep. Work to do. Everyone take care, Johnny. Be humble. Be patient. Be willing to learn. Thank you, Clayton Crawford. Beautiful upload, my friend. As always, brings to all of us around the world absolutely the best uploading videos. Thank you, Azumi. John Smith says, it's funny how snowstorms or snowfalls always bring out the dumbest people. I would normally agree with you, John Smith. But this is a commercial vehicle. So what's possible is this is just some poor employee who's going out to do their job. And this is about a truck not getting traction on a snowy road. And it's possible his company just didn't outfit the vehicle with snow tires and give him, and he's facing this dilemma of, well, I need to work, I need to pay the rent, so of course I'm going to go drive my truck to do my job. But the company didn't, like, it's hard to point the finger at people when it's like a work vehicle. It could very easily be a shitty employer, and if this guy wasn't driving it, it might have been someone else. Lisa says, I haven't commented recently due to the lack of challenging commentary. There's been some interesting ones. Why are you walking slow or standing in the crosswalk in bad weather? I wasn't doing either of these things. The camera is stabilized and makes it look like I'm moving slower. But even if I was walking slow, so what? Not everyone can walk quickly, and nor should they be in a hurry just to accommodate some asshat who can't drive so they can complete their turn quicker. For fuck's sakes. FFS just means for fuck's sakes. This one's about the Tesla that almost hit me. If self-driving Teslas can be recalled, drivers of manually driven Teslas should be recalled too. Yes. Can we recall these shitty drivers? Transit Town. Oh, be careful, Johnny. Those stairs look old and in rough shape and could probably be weak. Maybe, but they held up to me. Bash Brannigan says police stats from every city show drivers are predominantly the cause of pedestrian deaths, but drivers think they're perfect. Yeah. Also, drivers have so much more capacity to cause harm. So is it really unfair that we hold them to a higher standard? I don't think so. JU says, I'm surprised you weren't furious. This one nearly hit you. Sadly, this happens nearly every time I go for... Not nearly every time. It happens a lot. Sadly, this happens all too often. You get kind of numb towards this type of driving, which is true. You do. Brad Palmer is here. Happy Sunday evening, Johnny Stumbles and everyone. Cheers, Brad Palmer. Thanks for joining in. Another California Camry involved. Case surprise. The Tesla is the California Camry. Christine Camley on today's video. I'll walk through North York. Thanks for the interesting and entertaining walking video, Johnny. Your walks and rides never get old. They are always super interesting. I love that. Cheers. Thank you so much, Christine. Christine, one of these like always positive people. Thank you so much. Oh, I already pinned my comment, but I will give you the thumbs up. Thank you, Christine, for the super sticker. Much, much appreciated. Hardjot says, good video, Johnny. Christine says, terrific walk, Johnny. Story about that Tesla driver. Yikes. I have a close friend who lives, oh, this is a long one, lives at Yonge and Shepherd with a great view of the government building you pointed out from her condo suite. Last time I was in TO, I stayed for a few nights at my friend's place and I got to know this neighborhood more. She's just going on to say there's a lot of great choices in the area. Little too long to read on the stream, but thank you, Christine. Toronto has lots of dangerous drivers. Yep. Glad you didn't get hurt. It never ceases to amaze me how many drivers find stop signs and even occasionally red lights as optional. Yeah, this driver just blew right through that stop sign and nearly hit me. Matt Bros says, will you do any Markham walks such as Unionville or Pacific Mall? They are on the to-do list. I don't think I'm going to do through Pacific Mall. Action Kid had some trouble with security in that mall, but I think that area might be neat and worth a walk around. And it's not that far to get to, actually, via the TTC. One of the issue in the city itself, if you don't try to force that intersection, you might never make that turn. That doesn't mean drivers should be entering an intersection before they can clear it. ... It doesn't. How about find another route if it's not working out for you? James says, while sitting here in my study editing my novel, I just love to watch the winter scenes of Toronto and various other cities. For some reason, I find that Toronto seems to be calling me toward her with an outstretched arm. Here in the Thousand Oaks, California, where the temp is in the lower 60s, I sit and dream of a time when I will find myself walking your city streets, taking in the sights. Welcome to Toronto in advance. We'll give him a little courage. Please come visit our city. One driver did bad. Others had every right to go through. Don't be on such a high horse. One driver did bad. Let's refresh my memory. Let's count the drivers that did bad. Let's count the drivers that did bad.
Pedestrians are afterthoughts.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, this driver definitely should have waited. I'm like 3 feet from their vehicle. So that's one driver who did bad. All right, we've got one. Clear red lights. Clear red lights. And yes, this driver was clearly speeding. I saw the flash on the camera. This driver too, also running a red light. See, the light is red. Yeah, so that's 2 drivers running red lights. And you saw the flash. So that's 3 drivers doing bad. And then that driver had a red light, which means you treat the intersection as a stop sign. And they just went right through it. That's 4. I counted 4 who did bad, to use your vocabulary. Three red light runners and 1 turn they should have waited for. The last driver in the first clip. Maybe, I guess I'm on a high horse for calling out people who can't drive properly. Shrug. I don't know. I think let's drop a FFS in here. I'm not all that witty tonight. This person says you're overreacting. And you're admitting to be a shitty driver if you think that. Oh, it's amazing how these clips like get people defensive over the driving, over like, I don't know. Maybe she did not see you because of conditions. You as a pedestrian have the ability to take extra caution in bad weather and extra care in that area. Says Terry. Okay, another person coming to the defense of bad driving. Maybe did not see you. Let's watch. I am standing here. I am already like crossing. So the area just south of Lawrence here is often referred to. Well-lit intersection. I can clearly see the driver. And the driver could clearly see me if they looked. And they are saying maybe did not see you. If they didn't see me, it's because they didn't look. Watch the video again. Let's not call them a dumbass. Jellybean, $11. Thank you, Jellybean. Cheers. I really shouldn't be engaging with this level of stupidity in the comments, but whatever. We're going through comments tonight, at least for a little bit more. Thank you, Jellybean, for your support. Watch the video again and tell me if you really think they couldn't see me from a dead stop, by the way. My keyboard's sticking. Is it ever okay to start turning before you can even see if the coast is clear? Here's a hint. No, it is not. Keep defending shitty ass drivers though. It's a good look. Let's give them the eye roll. Let's drop a FFS. This toxicity in comments is normally like in my TikTok. Bridget says, wonderful rain walk. Loved it. Thank you, Bridget. Glad you enjoyed it. Mudmaker says, crybaby. Watch where you're going and put your phone down. Take the bike says, I think I found the driver. Yeah, you're right. The driver probably was on the phone. Yogi says, I'm filming a YouTube video, not on my phone. Should I stop filming? Also, when I'm crossing the street, like, my camera is literally in front of me like this. I don't need to look at the camera. I know exactly where this is pointed to. Like, I'm literally looking at my surroundings when I'm crossing. But come on, this Karen walks with the camera looking for altercations. You have to be a special kind of stupid to come to that conclusion after watching this. I was clearly the only person paying attention here. But sure, blame the pedestrian who was watching where he was going and not the POS driver for blowing a stop sign and failing to yield. I don't know. I spelt yield wrong, actually, but I'll just leave it. Couldn't you hear it coming? Whoa. And couldn't the driver see me walking or the stop sign right in front of them? Also, it was a Tesla. So no. They're not very audible. But yes, I saw it and just assumed they would. No, but yes, I saw it and obviously didn't step in front of it. ... What a stupid comment. Couldn't the driver see Johnny crossing? Thank you. One spell says Teslas are nearly silent, which is true. Cooking coverage. Wow, the St. Patrick's Day parade in Toronto must have been amazing. What were some of your favorite floats or performances from the parade? And did you participate in any St. Patrick's Day festivities beyond the parade, like attending a party or enjoying some traditional Irish food and drinks? Guys, I love comments. I love interacting with you guys, but this is just too much effort for me to answer. Like that's an exhausting question. Chris Mill says it's exhausting listening Johnny to respond to these knobs. I don't do it too often. Cooking coverage, man. You can't ask me 101 questions in a comment. I'm just gonna move on. Thanks. Lulu, maybe you should be aware of your surroundings and not be on the phone while crossing. The Tesla is at fault, but would not feel a thing if they hit you. Well, this spikes some conversation. I do know who is at fault. My comment was just because I don't want him to get hit by a stupid driver. Oh, God. Let's skip this whole thing here. I'll just say I wasn't on my phone or even looking at the camera. Nice assumptions, though. ... I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, I wasn't doing either of those things. Thanks, everyone, for sticking up to me in the comments. Vivian Johnson says, sheesh, another close one. No excuse for this at all. Time to see if you should be driving anything at all. Good comment. Nice video. That arcade looks fun. Always enjoy your commentary on Toronto drivers. Thank you, Marty M. Ralph Smith McKenzie. Nice golf course south on the South Bend side just before York Mill Station. That is actually a pretty nice golf course. And what's cool is in the winter, it's kind of a public park. You can go for a walk right through it. 807 Rider, Ontario is horrible for this. Even in Thunder Bay, I wait till the pedestrian is fully on the other side. You never know what the F can happen. Doesn't matter if it's snowing, raining, pouring, meteorites. You wait for that pedestrian to get to the other side. You're the one in a heated vehicle protected. If you can't see in any weather nor have patience, don't, or stay home, don't effing drive. I wish everyone behind the wheel had your mentality. Very true words, right? Hello, Sapand. Marge says, Laura, ask him a non-vehicle related question. What am I missing here? What am I missing here? Have I been neglecting the chat? Teslas are the new BMWs. You should report it to police with your video to prevent this type of behavior. Tom, I would agree with you if the police were the least bit responsive. Unfortunately, I didn't get a clear image of the driver in the video, so there's really nothing they could do. But even if I did, yeah, they're not doing anything. Sorry. They're just not. People retweet my videos to the police where you can see like the driver and the license plate, like, or they, especially on TikTok, I don't think retweet is the word, but they tag them. They're clearly seeing them, but they ain't doing shit. Great says, it's a rat race. Glad I'm long gone. Walking through Willowdale on a weekend afternoon is a rat race? What? 1522, and that's why automated doors should be a thing at every station. Oh, I think I was talking about a delay the other day. Buy some snow tires. Wonderful rain walk in Toronto. As an officer, ooh, we have an officer gracing our presence. If I was sitting there watching, I'd have charged the individual that damaged the vehicle, that kicked the car. Right turn was legal. He yielded on green light upon approaching intersection. He could have safely made the turn without hitting you if the one individual in front of you had entered the crosswalk properly. We see this way too often as officers, pedestrians, no comma, seem to have this sense of entitlement and right of way, which, keep in mind, only ever applies when they are also following their incorrect spelling rules of the road, which is not the case here. Next week, we are starting another initiative to actually go after pedestrians and cyclists, nice spelling, for minor occurrences like this. Pedestrians damaging vehicles, crossing illegally, such as this gentleman does, cyclists going the wrong way on one-way. You have to be trolling, right? How many pedestrians and cyclists have killed drivers in this city over the past 10 years? Now, ask the same question in reverse. If this is serious, this is everything that is wrong with traffic enforcement in this city. For fuck's sakes. I seriously hope you're joking. ... This is the one where the guy is crossing the road and he like kicks the car. Like this SUV here. Like the guy is clearly in the crossing. He is clearly in plain sight. He was coming over from the streetcar platform. And this cop is saying that they would have like charged this guy if they saw that happen. Like that's, if you are within like a few feet of a pedestrian, that's a dangerous turn. You're supposed to wait for them to clear. So that's why I'm like, this person's not a cop. They're a troll. There's no way they're a cop. And if they are, Toronto Freedom Convoy. Did you record? These are the only videos you have? Did you record this while you're on duty? Anyways, I'm not going to judge you by your videos. I'll judge you by your stupid comment, Carrie. Another great video. I can't wait to move here in a few years. Awesome. Sapand, good morning, Johnny. Great walk along Yonge Street from Shepherd to Finch. Thank you, Sapand. Christine saying hi. Laura, Koreatown is cool. We're only at 9 hours. You know, my views have just been like really high through April or through March, and I thought they were going to like cool off and go down, and they did a little bit, but they're still like way up there. Like my January and February this year were a little bit better than last year. My March is like exponentially better. Like, oh, I'm getting exhausted, and I'm only like 9-10 hours into the comments. Let's just see if we catch a juicy one here. Dylan Reynolds says, good morning. Why are your legs so scratched? I don't know, man. I don't know. Beats me. Jellybean says, Koreatown, move. Oh, because Laura Town says Koreatown. A lot of people refer to Willowdale as Koreatown or like a second Koreatown. The real Koreatown is at Christie, but I just assumed she was referring to Willowdale. I'm not going to like correct someone on that. Clifford says, pretty cool cleaning crew. Yeah, it was really cool seeing the cleaning crew in the streetcar. Jacqueline hasn't been to Niagara Falls. The fence on the staircase is what makes it less safe. Thank you, Neil. Chris back. The intro was awesome. So we're all Franklin Mars, always leaving. Franklin, I think, is Clayton Crawford's alter ego. But anyways, I'm all commented out. I think we're at 165 viewers. I think I'm at a gas, folks. So we're just going to keep this at the usual 90 minutes tonight. I'm going away, and it's coming up very soon. Jennifer Gala says your views are up because you are approaching 100K and the algorithm favors that. Congrats, Johnny. I hope so, Jennifer. I hope that. We'll see. Once there's a few videos that are kind of popping, once they cool off, I think it's going to go back to normal. I'm probably not going to be live streaming as much next month. Also, I'll have videos from outside of my usual wheelhouse, a whole lot of content from outside of Toronto. So I think the views are going to drop like a rock next month, but we'll see. We'll see. Lisa says, bet that whiteboard is looking busy. Yeah. So like I said, I might stream a little bit less in the coming week. Normally I would try to stream on a Monday if I didn't stream on Saturday or Sunday out in the wild on Strides. I think I might do like a Tuesday morning stream again, and then maybe a Thursday afternoon. I don't know. I'm going to be a little bit lazier with it because I've only got like 3 extra videos saved up, and I need to have a lot more than that. So I'm going to be working my tail off just making regular videos next week. But tonight, well, my camera seems like really zoomed in, right? Like I don't know. This seems like I'm more zoomed in. I should be back a little more. That looks a little more relaxed. Why was I sitting so close to the damn camera? Anyways, I want to thank everyone who sent support tonight. It really means a lot. Thanks to our mods for their good work. And thank you to everyone else for just joining in, chatting. It went by quick. Sorry. It wasn't the most positive of live streams. Sometimes the topics and comments take them in that direction. But we'll be back hopefully next Sunday. That'll be the last Sunday night live from Canada for a while. But I'm hoping to do a few from abroad. And yeah, I'll premiere a video tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. EST. I still don't know if it's going to be the walking video or the transit video. We'll figure that one out. But anyways, guys, stay warm, stay safe. Happy Sunday night? I don't know. It's almost, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Have a good night, guys. Yoink.